Okay, welcome to Unit 4, Lesson 1, Part 4. Now, these are to be kept. These are Cornell notes. I want you to keep this pink paper, in your section for Unit 4. This is very important because this lesson here is very similar to the problem on the Unit 4 CSA. So you're going to want to study this problem and go through these solutions. For those of you in Enhanced, you are going to answer Essential Question 1 and 3. For regular Math 8, you will not answer Essential Question number 3. That is not one of your essential questions, so I'll have you change that. You can just put a big X through this problem if you're in regular Math 8. Let's get started. Gregorys Motorsports has motorcycles. Now, their motorcycles are 2 wheels, and ATVs, they are 4 wheels in stock. The store has a total of 45 vehicles that together have 130 wheels. So we're given quite a bit of information here. And let's take a look at our objective. You are going to be solving systems of equations. You're going to be writing a linear equation, creating a table, a graph, and interpret the results. Okay. When we get to the CSA review, you'll see the additional questions. This matches the first part. Create an equation for each situation. Okay, well, let's take the easier situation. They have a total of 45 vehicles. What type of vehicles does the motorsport shop have? They have motorcycles and ATVs. So let's define what we want to use for motorcycles. And let's use the letter M. And it makes sense then that I would use a capital A or a lowercase a for ATVs. Okay, so what do I have? I have a total. If I add up all the motorcycles and the ATVs, I'm going to add them up, and they're only going to get to 45. So I already have equation 1. I know that 45 vehicles is equal to the motorcycles and the ATVs. I have some other information here. I have motorcycles with 2 wheels and ATVs with 4 wheels, and altogether I have 130 wheels. So I know that there's 130 total wheels, and that motorcycles are 2-wheelers and ATVs are 4-wheelers. I know I used a capital M, I apologize. So we have the 2 equations created. Let's move down. If we revisit this question, what does the solution to a system of linear equations represent? Well, we know it's going to be 2 variables. We normally have them on a coordinate plane, so X and Y. In this case, A and M is going to be our input and output. And we know that there's going to be a special combination of A and M that's going to give us a solution. So if we look at it over here, some M and A, similar to X, Y, input, output, has to be a solution. So let's take this first example, the equation 45 equals M plus A. And here we have 130 equals 2M plus 4A. And I have to choose one to be an input. I'm going to choose the motorcycles and ATVs as output, motorcycles and ATVs to be output. So I can start with any number of motorcycles and ATVs, but they're going to have to eventually add up. They have to add up to 45. So if I choose 10 motorcycles, then if M is 10, 10 plus what equals 45? Well, it would have to be 10 plus 35 to get me to 45. So maybe I go by fives. 15. If I have 15 motorcycles, how many ATVs do I have? I have 30. And if I have 20 motorcycles, then I'm going to have 25 ATVs. And if I have 25 motorcycles, I'm going to have 20 ATVs. And if I have 30, then I'm going to have 15. So I'm going up by 5 on the input and having to go down by 10. I have to also think, well, if this was 0, if there was 0 motorcycles, how many ATVs would I have? I'd have 45. So I have to think about that because I'm going to have to graph it later. So I'm going to want to know where that starting point is. Now let's take a look. We're going to use the same input. So let's just pop them in here. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. But this equation's a little bit different. So let's use some mental math here. 2 times 10 is going to be 20. If I subtract 20 from both sides, that's 110 equals 4a. Wow, that's a lot of mental math to do. So maybe I can simplify that a little bit more. And let me write that over here. 130 equals 2 times 10 plus 4a. That's going to be 130 equals 20 plus 4a. 110 equals 4a. Now, I don't think that's going to go in evenly. I'm going to grab my calculator. I'm going to divide 110 divided by 4. And I get 27.5. Now, can I have a half of an ATV? The answer is no. And I'm going to end up with that problem quite a bit. I'm going to need numbers that are divisible by 4. Let me keep going through here. That's 30. Okay, well, it works out for 15. If I have 15 motorcycles, 130 equals 30 plus 4a. If I subtract 30, I get 100 equals 4a. Now I do get a good number. A equals 25. Okay, so if I put 20 in there, I get 40. That's 90. That's not going to work. 90 divided by 4 is 22.5. So I should go back and pick probably some different motorcycle numbers, knowing that I should probably go by a certain even number off of these. Let's try 25. 2 times 25 is 50. 130 minus 50 is 80. Divide that by 4, and that's 20. Okay, so how much are these going down by? These are going up by plus 5. These are going down by minus 2.5. Minus 2.5. This goes down by minus 2.5. So I could go down another 2.5 and know that this is 17.5. What do I notice when you're going through these two charts? All of a sudden you notice something very important. And that something is that there is one point at which the input and the output are exactly matching up. So we're wanting to teach you different methods for systems of equations. You can build tables, graphs, and then later on we'll learn how to solve algebraically. Go ahead, turn your paper over to the second page. And we're going to graph this. So we're going to need to choose, we chose this as our input and output. We also need to think, okay, if I'm going down, if I went down to 0 here, I'm going up by 2.5. So then it'd be 30, 32.5. But I'm going to graph these and let's see where they intersect. We're going to call this coordinate, instead of X, we're going to cross that out. We're going to call this M for motorcycles. And this we're going to cross out. We're going to call this A for ATVs. But if I go by ones, it's not going to make it on this graph. So I'm going to try to go by perhaps twos. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's not going to work. Let's go by. Let's try 5s. And we can go up by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So now we need to do 2 lines. We'll do one in blue. We'll do this one 10, 35, 10, 35, 15, 30. Well, this is working out nice. 20, 25. And remember we talked earlier, oh, okay, well, it's going to be at 0, 45. We have enough to see that there's a pattern for me. We can go ahead and draw this first line. Now, this is a real life situation, so it shouldn't. Your line should start there, and start and end, start and end. I drew it a little bit too far. Now let's do the other ones in a different color. We'll try red, and we'll go to 10, 27.5. 10 and 27.5 is halfway between 25 and 30. And 15 is at 25. Oh, good, it hit. 20, 22.5, 25. Oh, I made a mistake here. 10, 27.5. Oops. 15 and 25. I'll make 1525. Apologize. There we go. So, even your teacher can sometimes make mistakes. Here we go. 10, 27.5. It's halfway between 25 and 30. 15, 25. 20, 22.5. 25, 20. There we go. 30 and 17.5. We talked about at 0 should be 32.5, so it should hit right there. Okay, let's get rid of these marks. Those are miss marks. And now we have a solution. And our solution is 25, comma, 20. And then we probably need to interpret what does that mean. What does the 25 mean and what does the 20 mean? Okay, so we know that inputs are M for motorcycles, so in order for this to be equal, at the time when the motor to satisfy both things, that will give me the solution of how many of each type of vehicles at Gregorys Motorsports. They have 25 motorcycles and 20 ATVs. Okay. Now, for my enhanced, answer both the essential questions. That's for enhanced. Use your other pink paper. And then for Math 8, just only enhanced, answer both. Math 8, only number 1. And now keep this, please. You'll be studying for the CSA in a couple weeks.